Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started here probably about 45 seconds. Appreciate you coming on today and look forward to the webinar. Get started. Most of you guys were on the previous week's webinar where we really talked about the importance of not only connecting with people, but having a system in place so that when you do connect with them, that you go in, click on the little message icon in the upper right, and actually have what I would call a pre-written message, just kind of telling the people, hey, thanks for connecting, thanks for connecting with me. Here's what I do, here's how I can help you, et cetera, and just kind of having that system in place. Excuse me, having that system in place to get more touches with your connections. Obviously, we addressed a few things. One, we had quite a few common questions about, who should I connect with? Should I be connecting with everybody, a few people, specific people? And I answered that, we want to connect with as many people as possible. LinkedIn kind of becomes a database for us where when we connect with someone, it gives us the ability to mass communicate to them. So it is important to connect with them. It is important to organize them and to put them in a folder where we can then pinpoint them later on with a targeted message. But what I wanted to go back to this week is I wanted to go through really the importance of having the proper setup. And one of the things I find is that a lot of agents, they haven't really put the time into LinkedIn that they need to. What does that mean? Well, what that means is LinkedIn has two sides, right? Side number one is that it's kind of what I would call an online resume for you. It really lets people know who you are, what you do, who you're connected to, where you went to school, where you've worked. It really should tell your story. And people say, well, what does that mean, Ken? What does it mean, tell my story? The one thing I'm always trying to explain is that no matter who you are or what you do, it doesn't matter what products you sell, probably 60% of the people that you have a meeting with, they now go online and they do a little research on you. They probably take a look at your website. They probably Google your name. They want to learn a little bit more about you, right? That's maybe not coming physically from your mouth. So, I'm just going on to Google here and I'm typing in Ken French Jr., right? And when I type that in, first thing that comes up is my profile, okay? So my point is this, guys. My point is that that's kind of the first part of the game with LinkedIn. You have to understand that once you create a profile, it's being created for people to view it. And it really should be done at the highest level possible. So that's the first point. The second point, and this is kind of some pretty expert level stuff, most people don't realize that by adding information about yourself, it actually helps more people find you, okay? So what does that mean in layman's terms? What that means in layman's terms is that you want to have a profile that's as complete can be. So, yeah, it's good that you have a good summary section. I know we worked on that in the past. But it is important to put where you used to work, where you went to school, what your interests are, what your skills are, and more importantly, what associations you belong to. All these types of things allow LinkedIn to kind of process that and say, okay, we're going to display this guy's profile on these other people's profiles who are similar or have interest in what he does. So my point is the more information you put on your profile, the higher percentage chance that your profile is going to get found. And as I always mention, so I'm rambling on here, but what I was saying was LinkedIn has two sides, right? Side one is making sure that it's set up correctly. Side two is driving people to the profile. Now, it's funny because you can drive as many people to your profile as you want, but if it's not constructed correctly, it's not going to generate any results. So each one goes hand in hand, and I think my point is the first side of it, the setup, is integral to results. So what I want everyone to do today is kind of go to LinkedIn, and in the upper left-hand corner, there's a button here that says Profile. Okay, so if you click on Profile, one of the things that LinkedIn does is they have created what I would call a setup genie, a setup wizard, and you'll kind of see it here on the right. And right now, LinkedIn, they kind of want me to talk a little bit more about what I did when I was at college. And I'll be honest, guys, my profile is pretty complete. I mean, I've put quite a few hours into working on it, so it's not like I'm missing information. However, there's always more to add, is what I'm getting at. So, you always kind of want to be adding to it, and these setup wizards can be really good. So if you go to Profile and click on Profile, it should pop up in the top. And if you're not really sure where to begin, just start filling in these boxes. And you'll see if I hit skip, it'll kind of ask me more and more questions. Do you want to add another school that you went to? Are any of these other skills something you'd want to add? Do you know any other languages? It really tries to do the best it can to help you add stuff to the profile. What I suggest you do is, if you don't want to do that, is just go to Profile and click on Edit Profile. And that should kind of put everything in edit mode. And, as we've talked about in the past, the summary section is important. I'm assuming you guys have all that done. But you probably want to go in and make sure you add all your experience in the work, with working, your job experience. Even if you caddied at a country club, you may say, well, why would I want to add that? That's ridiculous. That's embarrassing. But maybe it's not. Think about all the people that are members at that country club. When you put that in, now all of a sudden your profile may show up in front of them, because that's a key word that they have in various other profiles, whatever, Augusta National, you caddied there, whatever. So you know what I'm saying, guys? So that's where a lot of people, they don't realize how all this stuff is correlated. So even adding you caddy to the country club could help you get in front of some high net worth people that are members there. And that, all of a sudden it becomes a story and something to chat about, how you started off there and now you have your own agency. So it's those little things that people usually don't realize become a big factor in getting found. So go in, put that stuff in. Now, again, when you click on Edit Profile, you'll see that there are, and let me erase these drawings here. Sorry about that, guys. You'll see that there's some other helpful buttons: experiences, projects, languages, organizations. I actually had a call the other day from a gentleman, an agent, who is a member of a few local chambers of commerce. And I said, why aren't those on your LinkedIn page? Oh, no one cares about that. Are you kidding me? Aren't you a member of the Chamber of Commerce to network with people to begin with? So, of course, if you go in here and click on organizations and click on the plus, you can go right in here and type in, whatever Chamber of Commerce you're a member of, and that, again, links you to all the other members of the Chambers of Commerce, which is exactly the whole point of networking. So it's those little setup things that make a huge, huge, huge difference in getting traffic to your LinkedIn profile. So just to kind of rewind, there's two facets to LinkedIn. One, it's an online resume. Two, you can actually proactively use it to drive traffic to your website, to drive traffic to your profile. The things I'm talking about today are a little different. It's not you being really proactive and doing things to drive traffic. It's more what you would call organic traffic, where you're going to utilize all the tools LinkedIn has and make it work for you. LinkedIn is actually going to market you without you doing anything. And most of you may be saying, well, what are you talking about? I don't understand what that means, market me. Well, when you go onto LinkedIn and you click on like the home button, you're going to see that LinkedIn, immediately kind of throws people in front of you. Here are people you may know. And, these things kind of pop up in a lot of different places. And all I'm saying is Wouldn't it be nice to have your profile marketed in front of business owners and the types of people of high wealth that you want to do business with? Of course it would. That's not going to happen unless your profile is set up for LinkedIn to kind of to get that information and to correlate it and to match it. That all starts, like I said, that all starts with proper setup of the profile. So here are just some quick points, because I have been getting a lot of questions about what you guys should focus on. I'm just going to go back to the profile again and go through again some real quick points. One, please make sure your work phone number is on your profile. You would be surprised how many people don't have it. I mean, that's just a goof. You know, no one's going to do a research project to figure out how to call you. You put the phone number there, now you give them the ability to call you. So that's number one if we're going through quick things. Make sure your work phone number's there. Two, make sure in your summary section it explains who you help, how you help them, and how they can request your help. Three, make sure you have all your past work experiences. If you have pictures from those jobs, great. I think it adds something to the profile. It makes your profile look super professional. If you are blogging or if you've ever published anything, there's a thing called publications. You can see I have a few of my top blogs here. You can easily add those. 5, on the skills and expertise section, this is a common mistake place I see people. You want to have between 3 and 5 skills listed. Most of you guys have 50 skills listed. It's too many. So people ask, well, why do I want to only have 3 to 5? The reason you want to have between 3 and 5 is you want to get as many endorsements as possible. You'll see that I have 4 skills: social media marketing, insurance, website design, lead generation. Each skill, I have 99 plus endorsements. That's the cap. You can obviously click on it and see how many people. You'll see I have 232 people who've endorsed me for social media marketing. But my point is this: the more endorsements you get, the higher your profile ranks. If you have, so think about it logically. If you have 50 endorsements listed, how many people that love you are going to go through and click 50 times to endorse you for each skill? It's not going to happen. So it's better to have like maybe 3 to 5 skills. That way, when somebody comes to your profile, they've done business with you, they like you, they're going to click, they're going to go boom, 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 boom in 1 second and endorse you for all 4 skills. You know what I'm saying? If you have 50, they're not going to sit there and click on all 50. So long story short, just have between 3 and 5 skills listed. That's what you want to do. Obviously, have your education listed. I'm a big believer in having these organizations listed, so that would be chambers of commerce, stuff like NAHU, independent agents, just stuff like that. I think can be really, really helpful. I personally don't have any organizations listed. I'm not a member really of any. So that's important. And then finally, always make sure that there is kind of an area that says advice for contacting. It's important that you do kind of let people know how they can contact you. It's actually its own box. You would be surprised when you put email me or call me, that then opens the door that people can call you. Whereas if you didn't have that, people may be a little hesitant. So I know that sounds silly, but it's the little things that make a difference. All right, guys. So again, I always try to keep these things pretty short because I just gave you an incredible amount of information. But I think today's key is that the setup aspect always outweighs the creative marketing aspect. You can do as much marketing as you want, but if you don't have this thing set up correctly, it's not going to provide any results for you. So take your time today, maybe this weekend, maybe this summer. Go through there, give yourself about a half hour, and go through and try to really complete the thing and make it work for you. All right, guys, I'm going to put this on YouTube in a few minutes. I appreciate you coming on this week. Next week, we got a really good